Hey, what's up everybody, it's Chris F. I asked Tekken players what they struggle the most with when learning Street Fighter 6, and a ton of people replied saying that movement and blocking is the hardest thing for them when moving from Tekken to Street Fighter 6. So in today's second episode of learning Street Fighter 6 for Tekken players, we're going to be focusing on blocking and basic movement. If you learned something from this video, consider hitting the like and subscribe buttons to let me know that you enjoy this content and you want to see more of it from me in the future. Anyways, let's get right into it. In Tekken, you can block just by staying neutral. You don't actually have to push back or down on the controller. But in Street Fighter, your character doesn't default to blocking when standing. You're always in a vulnerable hit state. In Tekken, you won't block lows automatically just by standing neutral. You have to hit down. This is almost the same in Street Fighter, but in Street Fighter, simply holding down won't let you block. You have to hold down back. So basically a diagonal input, either on the one player side or the two player side. Other than lows and overheads, every single move in Street Fighter 6 can be blocked just by holding back. Of course, there's always a threat of lows, so generally speaking, you're going to be holding down back for most of your blocks. There are only two moves you're going to have to hold back to block against in Street Fighter: overheads and jump attacks. Now, not every character has overheads in this game, so generally you're only going to be stand blocking against jump-ins. Tekken gives you a lot of freedom to block out of movement options. Here, we see Brian doing a jab, backdashing, and blocking during his backdash animation. And not just for backdashes, you can even block during a forward dash animation. You can also block out of sidesteps and sidewalks. And you can choose whether you want to block standing or crouching out of any movement option in Tekken 8. But in Street Fighter, the only movement option that allows you to block immediately is walking forward and walking backwards. During a forward dash or backdash animation, you're completely vulnerable to attacks, and you can only block after your forward dash or backdash animation ends. I think this next point might be a little bit obvious, but just in case you don't know, you can't block when jumping in Street Fighter 6. Now, you can't block in the air, but you can block as soon as you hit the ground as long as you didn't push an attack in the air. If you do push a button in the air and it whiffs, there are a few frames where you can't block as soon as you land, and this can get you clipped by some lows. If you're completely new to Street Fighter, one of the most important things you can do is learn how to quickly tap down back to block low when you're walking forward and walking back. Being able to move like this will protect you from random lows, allow you to block fireballs, react to anti-airs and DI, and also keep you safe from quick forward advancing moves. Now, if you think this is hard, don't worry, it isn't. I'm going to leave a link in the description to a video I have about how to set up training mode to practice this exact thing, so check that out. Your endgame goal with this kind of movement is to become so good at moving that you can walk into your opponent's poke range, bait them into pushing a poke, and then whiff punishing them for it, all while taking minimal risk yourself because your blocking is so good. So now that we got the basics of walking and blocking out of the way, let's take a look at some more advanced concepts, starting with backdash and when you're going to want to use it. Generally speaking, in Street Fighter 6, backdashing is nowhere near as effective or useful as it is in Tekken. There are two main times when you're going to want to backdash in Street Fighter 6. Here we see Akuma poking at Ryu at max range, and he's trying to walk backwards out of Ryu's crouching medium kick, but he gets hit by it. But here we see Akuma do a backdash, and that allows him to avoid the move. That's because the backwards movement you get from a backdash is faster than a back walk. Just remember, this can be risky if you mistime your spacing because you cannot block during a backdash. Only once you recover from the backdash animation can you block in this game. Here's a quick example of when you would want to use backdash to beat a meaty throw. After Juri's regular throw in the corner, she can dash forward to set up a meaty throw, which you can't mash out of. But here, if Ryu backdashes on wake up, he's left at +4 frames, which means he can get a combo on Juri, since -4 in this game is punishable. This is a high risk, high reward play because if Juri decides to go for a meaty attack instead of a throw, Ryu's backdash will lose since there's no backdash invulnerability in Street Fighter 6. And last, let's talk about forward dashes and when you want to use them. Generally, you're going to want to use a forward dash at somewhere near full screen to quickly close the gap. Just like backdashes, you can't block during a forward dash, so they're pretty risky at close range. The main use of forward dashes is actually set up Oki or set play. Here's a quick example with Cammy. After her main B&B combo mid-screen, she's left too far away from her opponent to keep on pressuring and set up Oki just by walking forward. But by doing a forward dash into a small walk forward, she's left with enough frame advantage to set up a meaty strike throw shimmy setup. And this is a really common pattern in Street Fighter 6 knockdown. So basically, you're going to be using forward dash as a frame kill either mid-screen or in the corner to set up your pressure. And that brings us to the end of this video. Let me know in the comments what you thought and if there's something you want to see me cover in episode 3. But until then, as always, thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.